Hello, good morning. Welcome to today's market outlook. My name is Edmund. So we are at the end of the week. Today is a Friday, 19th of June, 2020. So before we go on to analyze what happened on a Thursday, let us see what is coming up for today. So it has been a very exciting 4 market days from Monday to Thursday. And yesterday we actually saw a lot of action happening with the Bank of England announcing their monetary policy summary, and also we can see that that event moved down or weakened the UK pound by about 145 pips from yesterday afternoon about 3 p.m. all the way until the US trading session. Okay, so yesterday was an interesting day to trade on the UK pound, and the euro dollar reacted also, but not to the extent of the UK pound. And of course, we saw the gold prices. It was largely still in a consolidation phase, but we can see that the gold prices spiked up to about 1,738 US dollars, and then spiking down all the way to 1,717 US dollars before going back to what I call the neutral price of about 1,723 US dollars. Okay. So for today, I would say that markets will be recuperating from yesterday's and also the last 4 market days of movements. So for today, it is mostly a collection of minor data, starting with the German producer price index numbers to be released at 2 p.m., followed by the UK monthly retail sales numbers, and towards 4 p.m., we will be having the current account numbers for the Eurozone. The European Union Economic Summit will be ongoing for the whole of today, and it will be done through webinars or what we call an online meeting. So there should be no significant impact from the Economic Summit. Moving on to the Americas tonight, from Canada, we will be having the monthly core retail sales data, and also at 8:30 p.m. from the US, we will be having the current account numbers. So let us have a look and see what other events or results was announced over the last 24 hours. First of all, we can see that the US dollar strengthened for a third day. Okay, just a quick one. So the US dollar has been strengthening since last Thursday, Friday, Monday, and it took a breather on a Monday recently. Okay, and on Tuesday, it took a breather on Tuesday, moving down after the Federal Reserve announced their corporate bond buying programs, and ever since Tuesday, it has been bullish again, recovering quite nicely for Tuesday, Wednesday, and yesterday. Okay, so we can see the US dollar was mostly bullish for Thursday. Okay, so other major news yesterday, we knew that the Bank of England was having their monetary policy summary announcement at 7 p.m. yesterday. Here we go. So on Thursday, June the 18th at 7 p.m., the Bank of England released their monetary policy summary and also the official bank rates. No changes in the interest rates. It was maintained at 0.1%. And also, more importantly, yesterday, out of the 9 MPC members, Monetary Policy Committee members, okay, out of the 9 members, 8 of them voted unanimously to proceed with further bond purchases. Okay, so indirectly this refers to quantitative easing, and the Bank of England is continuing to purchase bonds in order to finance their quantitative easing programs. So that could be one of the reasons why the UK pound weakened as early as this time, 1000 hours, 10 plus 5 is 15. At 3 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, the UK pound weakens from 1.2548. The first move down was going down about 72 pips to about 1.2480. And as you can see, the UK pound started to weaken even before the 7 p.m. data announcement, and as the monetary policy summary was released, we can see that the UK pound momentarily moved up by about 64 pips. However, after moving up, it went down again to a low of 1.2400. Okay, so altogether from the UK trading session all the way until the US trading session, the UK pound was going down. Okay, so of course we can see part of the reason the UK pound weakened a lot, besides the announcement of the bond buying program, was partly also due to the strengthening of the US dollar. Okay, so let us get back to the calendar. Okay, so besides the Bank of England event at 7 p.m. yesterday, we also had the US unemployment claims data, which came in at 1.5 million US citizens seeking for unemployment benefits. And of course, this 1.5 million result was higher than market expectations of 1.29 million. Okay, so again, it's over here. Here we go, this particular one at 8:30 p.m. Okay, unemployment claims came in at 1.5 million versus market expectations of 1.3 million. Even though this 1.5 million was above or worse than market expectations, this data which was announced yesterday of 1.5 million was still better than the previous week's data of 1.56 US citizens filing for unemployment claims. Okay, so again, the jobs markets in the US has bottomed out about I would say 3 weeks ago, and it is still on the path to recovery. Okay, so yesterday's unemployment claims was the 11th straight week that the weekly numbers has improved from a low of 7 million. Sorry, I would say as from a high of 7 million unemployment claims being submitted as of the end of March until yesterday. It was coming in only at 1.5 million unemployment claims. Okay, so again, the jobs markets in the US are recovering. Currently, I would say that the main concern is for the last 2 weeks or so, possibly with the economies opening, especially in the US, and also with all this, I would say, protests going on for the last couple of weeks. Protests such as the ones happening in the US regarding George Floyd and so on. So when these protests happen, mass gatherings of people will congregate together, and of course, definitely there will be a higher chance of the COVID-19 spreading. Okay, and we are seeing that spread now, which has been rising or spiking for the last 2 weeks. Some states from California, Texas, and also Florida have seen double-digit spikes in their new coronavirus cases. Okay, so again, currently in terms of the economy, it will largely depend on, again, how well they control the coronavirus. Okay, so those are the events for the last 24 hours, and for the next 24 hours, this is what we are looking at. Again, no major data here. However, the UK and US trading markets, trading sessions will still be operating, so we will still be expecting some movements, and I wouldn't say major movements. I think today is going to be quite subdued, but we will still have one cycle during the UK trading session and another cycle during the US trading session. Okay, so yeah, just double check and see whether there was any data hiding on Saturday. So you just click on in the next one. Nope, at 12 a.m., which is later on tonight, midnight, Friday midnight, local Singapore and Malaysia time. Hey, yes, there is some data hidden. Okay, hidden meaning that it rolls over to Saturday morning, local Singapore and Malaysia time. FOMC Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, will be speaking at 1 a.m. Okay, so just pay close attention to this. If you're having a trade and it's floating, and if you plan to hold your trade over the weekend, be very careful, because some comments by Mr. Jerome Powell could possibly mess up your trade. Okay, so please pay attention, or keep this in mind. So let us go on to the technical charts analysis.